I saw Carol is on. Hi, Carol.
Hey, Mike.
Great. And then we're waiting on our friends from IMED and Principal, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, so Matt sent a note this morning. Dan Rickley's actually going to take his segment instead of him. So I had to make a couple changes on the presentation, but this is the updated version. And then we just tested the video mic. It works fine. I made sure my audio was working. So I think we're in good shape.
Great.
Turn my phone down so it's not super loud.
And good. And this will be recorded, and we can deploy it out to the those people that have, you know, mentioned that they wanted the information, but they couldn't attend. So that's good. Excuse me. Now, do you believe it's going to be 60-something degrees? Is it tomorrow, I think?
Tomorrow. And then I just saw something flash over my phone that possible foot of snow on Saturday somewhere.
You know what? Great. We're all going to get sick. So great.
Right.
We're all starting to feel better, and now this. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, I just got my my COVID booster, and man, I was sick as a dog the next day.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I've known other people that have gotten the booster, and they weren't really affected by the first 2 doses, but the booster seems to have kind of walloped them a little bit.
Yeah.
I just lost feeling in my arm for like 2 days with the booster. But I didn't get sick, luckily, thank God.
I had to cancel mine. I ended up with the good old-fashioned flu last week, so I was scheduled to get my booster, and there was no way I was not leaving my house. I couldn't even get out of bed.
That's
so
terrible.
now it's after Christmas I go, so we'll see. My wife got it. She was pretty tired. She slept a lot the following day, but then that was it, and her arm was very sore.
Yeah, my wife's arm is still inflamed and puffy and stuff like that. I don't know. They call it like COVID arm, I think.
Right.
That's what, at least that's what she calls it.
That's what she's referred to it as.
Yeah, she's got a flair for the dramatics, but
I can relate. My wife's like that. She went to the doctor the day after she got her shot, and they're like, "Oh, you're due for a tetanus shot." She's like, "I just got my COVID shot." She goes, "I can't have both arms not working."
Yeah, that's too much. The tetanus is a big one too. Your arm got a whack for a few days with that.
So she convinced them that she could go back in a month.
It's only so many shots you can do in one day, Dean.
Right.
Casey, do you have can you send a quick email to our friends at Principal and IMED just to make sure that they're in the process of coming on?
I will.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think
Jeff's
I'm here,
on.
guys.
Jeff just got on, so Jeff's
Sorry
Nodges
about
just
that.
made it.
My illustrious VDI. Sorry, I'm just gonna be on my phone.
So you're Jeff Nodges. How you doing?
Doing much better now, thank you.
Okay. Rumor has it Melissa Pomeroy is on the call, so that's just act on your best behavior, guys.
Yes, she has joined.
Mike, stop spreading rumors, Mike.
I wanted them to tell you how good I am.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. This will be a good session. We're going to start in a minute, guys. Everybody that's on, I think we're waiting for 1 or 2 stragglers, but we're going to start this in a minute. But this is an important session as it really kicks off the Credit Union League, the CCUA, using the power of over 200 credit unions to get better deals, better rates, better benefits, and more stability in the marketplace on multiple lines. So it's as much about that as really anything today. So I'm excited. Tell I'm a hoot at a cocktail party, right?
So we do got Daniel on, Dan's on, and then looks like everyone's kind of popping in right now.
Right.
We'll give it another like 30 seconds and then we'll get started just to be respectful of everybody's time.
Yep, the individual benefits, the IMED and the Choosy, they're keeping their comments to 10 minutes. We did a dry run yesterday, so we should be able to be right on the money relative to time allotted for this session.
As long as I don't start to talk, Mike, then it goes out the window. So.
Exactly.
All right, so I have 11:02. We're going to get started. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dean Martino, Director of Business Development with the Cooperative Credit Union Association. And it's my pleasure to introduce Michael Mckenna, who's Senior Partner with the Alera Group. The association has enjoyed a long-term relationship with Michael in his health insurance businesses throughout the years. And we are excited that Michael and his team has put together Nexgen for us, which is available to all of our member credit unions. And today is going to give you a kind of a sneak peek of what's available. And we hope that it will pique your interest and serve your employees well. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Michael Mckenna to get us started. Michael, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Dean. So good morning, everybody. And we're going to make this presentation concise. And what I want to do is, because we are going to play the promo video for this Nexgen program, but before I go there, what makes this Nexgen project so important to your businesses and to your employees? And it has everything to do with the acknowledgement from the CCUA and from the Alera group that this stuff has become too expensive, and we need to leverage not only the power of the Alera group, and we're one of the largest employee benefits consultants in the country now, about 3,000 employees and over $1 billion of revenue, and couple our purchasing power with that of CCUA's membership, which includes over 200 credit unions. And it really has everything to do with, well, I'll just break it down with you. Benefits that are going to enhance what you have, possibly make it what you have better. I'm going to date myself because it's a term from the 1980s, kind of, you know, the whole TQM, just-in-time benefits, right? JIT, just-in-time benefits to help employees out. So what you're going to find is some of the session today, we're going to talk about some of the benefits. Yes, they're better priced. Yes, it's long-term stability because they come with multiple year rate guarantees. But you're going to find a lot of the benefits, particularly as we go to Choosy in the beginning of this presentation and Nexgen, the Navigo option. It's where employees are hurting. What is really hurting their pocketbooks, their wallets, their family cash position, because the going to just trusting health insurers primarily, I'm picking on them today primarily, to give us the best deal is just no longer the case. So Nexgen was born out of the realization that the CCUA and its large membership, along with our market leverage, we can do some pretty meaningful and special things for CCUA members, the organizations, the businesses, the employees, and their dependents. And that's why this is such an important session today, because we're going to be rolling out, and I'm going to let the video do a lot of the explaining in the beginning here, but this is the first step. And I know many of you may have received the email from Ron McLean, and I have had some really good responses. We're going to take Nexgen and apply it to what a lot of industries have done, like the Higher Ed Consortium, the colleges and universities, which is our client. by purchasing ultimately at some point health insurance together, where we see a net savings to your businesses. But more importantly, and you're going to see this in the benefits today, guys, multiple year rate stability or guarantees. That is why we're doing what we're doing. This is not to just sell you stuff. This is to make what you have better, more affordable, more predictable by offering rate stability and or multiple rate guarantees, and to constantly, something that we have a concept in our business, constant never-ending improvement. This next gen process is going to grow, and it's going to be driven by members. It's going to be member-centric, so you realize the benefits of this stuff. So that's what I've got today. And so for the agenda, you've heard me talk. I'm going to bring in Jeff Nodges at Choosy Dental. Dan Rickley will be speaking for 10 minutes, Principal, our friend Mike Barry. And these are all benefits designed for, and specifically for CCUA member credit unions. And we're going to end the presentation today by bringing in the technology that's going to power all of this stuff, and also add to some additional benefits that are affecting your employees and hurting your employees' pocketbooks and wallets today. So good stuff. I do expect that we'll do this within an hour, maybe less. But what we'd like to do is, and if you haven't seen it, it was in the daily scan. Here's the promo video that recaps what basically I just said.
Alera Group is proud to partner with the Cooperative Credit Union Association, leveraging the combined purchasing power of over 200 member organizations. The result is the next generation of employee benefits, better in quality at a lower cost. In fact, we're calling our initiative Nexgen. Nexgen benefits include telemedicine, pharmacy prescription savings, a world-class vision plan at rates well below market, a dental discount program designed to save up to 30%, individual income protection for higher wage earners, and essential employee-paid voluntary benefits. What other benefits does Nexgen have us excited about? An easy and customizable web-based experience. This will help members make smarter healthcare purchasing decisions by explaining how to better access care. It enhances existing benefits while saving employees and their families money. Take telemedicine, for instance. Support is just a phone call away. The Nexgen Telemedicine program provides members with the convenience and affordability of video conference options. We go above and beyond to cover things like urgent care, sick visits, dermatology, mental health, and more. Unlike telemedicine offered through your health insurance, employees will celebrate the heavily discounted, sometimes free services. Meanwhile, as an employer, your credit union will appreciate the lack of medical and pharmacy claims, potentially saving money on health insurance premiums. We're also proud of our Nexgen Pharmacy program. The Pharmacy Program Savings Tool is much more than a discounted program. It allows users to search their medication and view precise drug costs along with other incredibly helpful information. It offers the most commonly prescribed telehealth medications for free and gives users the ability to pay for other prescriptions right on the website, often at a significant savings, because your health insurance may no longer have the best price for your employees and family members. Our Nexgen Vision and Voluntary benefits offer a world-class vision plan with a high and low option to meet all employees' needs. Coverage includes annual eye exams and a wide array of discounts and robust coverage for frames and lenses. A dental savings program with the preferred network that can save up to 30% off services. Income protection offered to higher wage earners to fill the gap when long-term disability isn't enough. Proprietary voluntary benefits with rates available only to CCUA member credit unions. Our Nexgen package is intended to provide these and other thoughtful, affordable benefits in one spot. We are always looking for new and better value-based benefits that make healthcare more affordable and accessible.
Great. So I want to turn, now we're going to get into the specifics of these programs. And again, the end result is to constantly build on this and give long-term rate guarantees for membership. But without further ado, Jeff Nodges is the Vice President and Network and Business Relations for Choosy. Jeff, it's your show.
Thanks, Mike, and thanks everybody for joining us today. Appreciate the opportunity. I think we do have this unique landing page, which you'll see outlines quite a bit about Choosy and how it can work, not just for the 200 strong credit unions and their employees, but certainly your membership. Keep that in mind, as you're looking to add value to the relationships that you have, and when you try to grow your membership in each one of the member credit unions. This is a valuable tool, and it's really available to not just employees, but retirees, folks who maybe are looking for additional coverage beyond an insurance plan. So it works in a lot of different ways for folks, and it's quite simple and easy to use. We recently introduced a whole new option with Choosy. There is a mobile platform where you can download the Choosy app to your phone with all the function and features that are available at choosydental.com. But you can now actually enroll right on the website and use Choosy to pay for your services, either through the mobile app or right through the website. We've got a text-enabled process where you can actually pay by text. You can pay online, you can pay through the Choosy mobile app. So lots of different ways, but the key is using one of the Choosy providers that we have negotiated that discount that we spoke about earlier, which is between 24 and 30% off most dental care. The choosydental.com has a Find a Dentist tool. That's the easy and quick way to find a local dentist or specialist in your area that accepts Choosy as part of our network. So we've negotiated the discounts and done the heavy lifting in advance for you with Choosy. If you're curious what you'd pay for a service, we do have a powerful feature inside the app, or again, online when you're in the Find a Dentist tool, where you can plug in specific services and see what you'll pay when it's time to go to the dentist. So who's using Choosy today? That probably is something that a lot of people are thinking about. So uninsured folks certainly, like I said, can benefit from this. Maybe they're COBRA beneficiaries or self-employed folks, again, who are maybe members in the credit union. There's certainly part-time folks, retirees, any patient who needs care that they either want or need. There's no monthly premiums. It's totally free to access Choosy. It doesn't cost to download the app. You basically are paying as you go with Choosy. Insured members are also going to be able to take advantage of Choosy. So, dental programs are great, and if you have one in place today, then that certainly is going to be a great benefit to you. But if you can find a Choosy provider, that's another way to leverage additional savings. So it doesn't work with the insurance. Essentially, it doesn't coordinate. So if you have an insurance plan and you have a co-insurance or copay balance, that's really not what Choosy's designed for, but it will help you with non-covered services or services outside your annual maximum. Those are the type of things that Choosy can definitely help with. Everybody wants a great smile, right? So now things like adult orthodontics, veneers, teeth whitening, those are all very popular services that most dentists are providing to you. And again, you're paying with your own credit card through the mobile app, again, or on the website. So when you enter in your own credit card, you can also think about using maybe a pre-tax savings account, a flexible spending account, or an HSA that you might have dollars on. And if that does have a MasterCard or Visa enabled in it, then you can stretch those dollars even further. Those are pre-tax dollars that get used in certainly all dental expenses, with rare exception. I think the only exception to that would be the teeth whitening. Almost every other service, including orthodontics, is something that you can use those pre-tax dollars to save on. And what type of savings are people seeing? So, on a dental implant, for instance, typically something that isn't covered by a patient's insurance plan, or again, may have gone beyond your annual maximum with your insurance program. I had one just last week, and actually 2 single tooth dental implants that are going to replace a couple of teeth that I lost. So typically the dentist charges about $2,300. I paid $1,700 and saved $600 on each tooth. So that's $600 just with the implant savings alone. And then when I come back and get 2 crowns to replace those teeth, so I have a complete smile, I'm going to save on the crown, again, probably another $700 or $800 off the dentist's full office charge. So those are very, very powerful savings that folks can leverage when they're using a Choosy provider in their area. We're always adding additional dentists. We have a great team here of recruiters who are constantly working to negotiate savings for our members. So that's something that we're certainly willing to work with folks on. Our member service team has an 800 number on the website where you can reach out at any time for anything you need help with, even if it's just accessing the platform, getting registered and enrolled, entering your credit card, and certainly helping you find a provider who can help you save on great dental care is something that Choosy would be happy to help you with. We recently also introduced a great referral program. So Choosy is a little different than a traditional insurance product where you have to be the employee or you have to be a dependent. Choosy really works for everyone. What I mean by that is if you want to use your Choosy account to pay for maybe you're a caregiver for mom or dad, who are elderly and looking to save because they don't have a Medicare Advantage plan or an insurance program that covers particular service. You can help other folks, other friends and family save by using your own Choosy account. So that's something that's unique and different than most programs. And again, we just introduced a referral program. I'll drop the link to that in the chat so folks can take a look at that. But when you're speaking with your members, again, if you're trying to grow this program for folks, please do use the CCUA code. So that code that you see on the landing page and in the tile here on the presentation, that CCUA identifies folks who have heard about Choosy through the credit union. So that really allows us to just track and see how many folks have heard about Choosy through the credit union, or again, how many members have heard about it. And if you refer your friend, there's a $50 reward for folks who end up going into the dentist and using Choosy to save, and a $50 reward for that patient who goes in and uses Choosy to save on their care. So again, I'll drop that in there. There's information certainly on the website about that as well. And certainly if there are questions, you can, I think maybe the chat might be the best way to respond to those, because we've got a couple other folks I know that we want to get to. But in summary, that's how Choosy works for you, your members, and your friends.
So Jeff, what makes this such a valuable benefit for the member credit unions? This is not insurance, guys, and there is no cost to this. So whether it's your employee, your employee's your part-time, your non-benefited, let's say you have a voluntary dental plan, this can you be offered in conjunction with that. Family and friends can, as long as they use that CCUA code, can sign up for it. They could be retirees, or you're just your general membership. I had a nice conversation with one of the CEOs of a credit union that's a CCUA member, and they're going to offer it to basically their credit union members, their depositors, for example. There is no restriction like that. This is not insurance. This is a purely a heavily discounted program. And what we've been seeing, those of us in the industry, the out-of-pocket expenses for the average American for dental care has almost doubled over the last 6 or 7 years. And as dental procedures get more expensive, for example, I've had a heck of a couple of years with crowns and really expensive care. So and I have dental insurance. Once that is exhausted, any net new claim and Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, but if it's a new claim, even though I have insurance and I've exhausted my benefits, which is easy to do for ortho and for veneers and for root canal therapy, all of that, those new claims, if this dentist takes Choosy, they get that discount. That's correct, right?
Yeah, you can save on all care. Again, if it's
Right.
something that you're looking for coverage on because your policy just isn't picking it up for whatever reason. Lots of times we see those things that are beyond the maximum, like you mentioned, the implants, the crowns, the dentures. We've had cases on the order of $10,000 to $20,000 that folks have used Choosy for. So
Yeah,
it can really compound.
I'll bet. And they get that. And good job, Jeff. Just one other clarification, please. They get that discount when? At the time of service?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So yeah, they do have to pay for their treatment at the time of service. So that's the power of Choosy, is paying with your own credit card, Visa or MasterCard. So again, you could have your own installment plan with your credit card company, right? So even though you have to pay for the care and you see the savings immediately, in theory, with your own credit card, you could pay over time on installment, but you do have to pay the dentist at the time you secure the care. The only exception is the orthodontics, Mike. That's the one thing where you can work out a treatment plan 18, 24 months.
Right. And that's why it works for the dentist, because they're getting paid right away, but you're getting that discount right away. Again, anybody can use it. Use that CCUA logo. We're going to reinforce how to download the application and what to use when we follow up after this meeting. But it's ready to go, guys, and you guys can use it now. And like that CEO I chatted with at another credit union, he'll be offering it to their actual credit union members. So, Jeff, thanks so much. I appreciate that. And next up is Dan Rickley, the Director of Marketing and Sales for IMED. As a kind of a medical insurance guy, that's my background. The biggest complaint we've always received, that we receive historically, Dan, is like, for example, the Blue Cross family of plans. Generally, we only cover a dental visit. I'm sorry, not a dental visit, a vision care, routine eye exam once every 24 months. Which leads to a lot of confusion and dissatisfaction with the medical portion of their vision benefits. But also, the stuff is expensive. So we're so happy that your organization stepped up and offered something really special for the CCUA. And I also believe you guys offered the CCUA members a multi-year rate guarantee on this as well. But I'm gonna turn this over to Dan, and you're up, Dan. Dan?
Fantastic. Thanks, Mike, and thanks everybody for taking some time today. We're really excited to work with the CCUA going forward, and I think, sort of in concert with what Jeff mentioned earlier, I think one of the great things about this platform is that the folks at Alera kind of looked at everything that was available out in the market and said, okay, let's build sort of a best-in-class package and pick and choose the things that are most advantageous for CCUA members. So in Jeff's case, it's sort of a non-insured benefit. And in the vision space, it's more of your traditional insured benefit, but designed in such a way to really accommodate the sort of wide variety of preferences and needs in the vision space. So this is the main plan design, sort of the driving plan design, which is it's called an exam only plan, but that's sort of a misnomer. It's exam only in that the exam is insured. After a $10 copay, your members get their routine eye exam covered in full. That includes dilation as necessary. And that's an insured benefit. Beyond that, we've also said, hey, for our IMED folks that are on this plan through the CCUA, we need you to go above and beyond and offer sort of a fixed pricing schedule for popular materials options to those folks as well. So, Mike, to your point, a lot of the complaints about vision care in the past is not only that it's expensive, but it's also those scenarios where you go and you say, okay, my frames are $130, my lenses are probably about $100, I should be about $230. And then you get to point of service and the person that you're working with totals you out and you're at $700 and you don't know how you got there. In addition to providing savings, this plan also provides some clarity. So you know that for a single vision lens, you're just paying $50 for that lens. For a bifocal lens, it's just $70. Trifocal, $105, and so on. And those are fixed for you. So you know that going in. So there's less of that sort of sticker shock because you have a better understanding of what those materials are going to cost you in the event that you do need glasses. So the way the Nexgen sort of platform was designed from a vision perspective is this is something that CCUA members can fund for their members, and it's a really, really inexpensive benefit. And I think if you go on to that next page there, you'll be able to see just how inexpensive I mean here.
Yeah, Dan, there seems to be
Mike,
a delay.
I'm not sure if you froze on anybody else's side, but the slides don't look to be advancing on mine.
Yeah, I think it's on your end.
I'm not sure if anybody can hear me out there.
I can hear you, Dan. Can you hear me? So, Casey, can you hear me?
Ooh.
Yes, I can hear
Mike,
you.
you popped back in there for a second,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then
I
you're
think the
out
delay
again.
is Dan. Dan, can you hear me now? Yeah, Dan, I think the delay is on your end. Hopefully his connection gets a little bit better. But if you look at the rates, though, I mean, for this is, remember, there's a high and there's a low option, and I agree with Dan. To call it a low option is just a way to describe it. But if you look at the subscriber, it's $1.17, and this is multiple rate guarantees. So hopefully Dan comes back and he's able to hear me okay, and he can take it from there. But these are, I want to say, we can get those to you, but they're 3, maybe 4-year rate guarantees on this. Where Dan is quite right, and having taken these, having worked for Blue Cross Blue Shield, for example, for years, we would say, oh, we have a 20% or 25% discount on eyewear, but it was 25, through our partners, whatever it was, but it was 25% off of what, and it would be the difference. It would be different from provider to provider to provider. Here, you're able to access those discounts and those flat dollar amounts. Absolutely. And obviously IMED being one of the top 2 eyewear providers in the country, your employees are in really, really good shape. And Dan, I just want to see if we get Dan back. Dan, can you hear us okay? All right, but everybody can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mike.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, so hopefully we can get Dan back. So that is, but that rate, that $1.17 rate, and as we posted this is what I'm talking about. So as important, guys, as the discussion of what Nexgen is, and I'm using this obviously session to introduce that concept to you. We're not always going to get it right, but when we find a benefit that is of value to employers, to credit unions, my role here is to make sure we get a better price or a competitive price. And if it's competitive, we want to make sure it's locked in or it's very, very stable. So my understanding is these vision rates are good for, I think, 4 years. I'll follow up with that. There are at least 3, but I think they've agreed to 4-year rate guarantees. So that so that is the power of bringing 200 credit unions together, and that's just one benefit. So I want to go back to Dan. Dan, are you there?
I don't know if he's on, Mike, but I did want to confirm that that rate guarantee is for 48 months. So you are correct on that.
Yeah. Okay. So this is where we're going with this. And
oh, Dan's back on.
Okay. So Dan, if you're there, let's go to the next option. So let's revisit that one page, guys, with the rates for this first option.
Everybody, sorry about that. Were you able to get any of what I was saying?
Yeah, Dan, you're not coming in clear. So can we just put on that other the rate sheet the last rate sheet that we looked at? All right. So that is for the first option. So let's. Okay. So that's okay. That's the second option. So the second option. And hopefully Dan is back. Dan, can you hear us? Okay, so not so much. So you know what we're going to do is I really do want Dan to go over the high option on this, so we can go back to that. Casey, easy enough if we go back to it. Hello? Casey, are you there?
Are we moving on to the next principal?
Yeah. So I'm
Sorry
assuming we lost Dan. So what we'll do is when Dan comes back on, I'll have him go through the second option, but I don't want to lose momentum, and I want to be sensitive to people's time frames. So when he gets back on, we'll revisit the high option vision plan. But without further ado, I want to introduce our friend Mike Barry, Group Benefits Disability Specialist for one of our really, really close partners, and who really stepped up for the CCUA, Mike Barry with the principal. So Mike, it's your show, buddy.
Mike, thank you, and good morning, everybody. Thank you all for your time this morning and dealing with this new remote world that we're in, and hopefully Dan does come back. If I suffer the same fate Bear with me because I am dialed in on the phone as well. So we should be able to keep audio chugging along here, but just want to again say thank you all for your time this morning. We're really excited to be here. And I know that I speak behalf on Mike and the team and all the partners. Really nice to be involved with an agency and association like the CCUA, someone that has such a great reputation in market. And the organization, I'm still talking about the event that you hosted down at Mohegan Sun. Pleasure to get to know all of you and partner with you here. And so what you all bring to the table as an association is a lot of expertise and size and reputation, which gets companies that Alera has partnered with here, like Principal, to try to do all that we can to give you something that's unique and something that's special for you as employers and for you as your employees. And we're thrilled to be here. And this first benefit to discuss is the accident plan through the Principal Financial Group. And what you need to know about the accident plan is all here on the screen. And we're not going to spend a lot of time going through line by line. But what we will discuss are the benefits and the perks of this, because when you get into accident coverage, whether you live a busy lifestyle and you're a DIYer cleaning your gutters every other weekend like I am, or maybe you're just going to work and you're an office warrior driving to and from, or you've got a young family and kids that are in sports, the accident plan really checks all the boxes to protect lifestyles of all arrangements. And what that means is if you are and your employees are enrolling in an accident plan, there are tax-free dollars that we pay directly to those enrolled. And so that's a really, really important feature here, because this is all money, when you see the dollar amounts here, that Principal will pay to the member and their families when an accident occurs. That is tax-free lump sum, and we pay them directly. The other benefit to these voluntary coverages, and accident in particular, is that it is all set up via payroll deduction, and it can all be set up in a pre-tax format. So while we've got some very impressive premiums here that we'll show on the next screen in just a moment, those premiums are something that we come out in a pre-tax basis, and it helps lower your year-end taxable income. Albeit not by much, but I think that we can all agree that whatever we are lowering for the government to take from a tax basis standpoint, everybody wins. So there's great benefit in that. This is also a benefit that includes a wellness provision. So why does that matter here? Well, the wellness provision within the accident plan is essentially a refund benefit. So any member that enrolls in accident coverage who also goes to their one-time per year annual physical with their medical coverage, they send us a copy of that wellness visit, and we send that employee a check for $50. So as we go to the next screen, Casey, and thank you for jumping on that, you'll see that $50 refund nearly funds 50% of the premium on the annual basis for an employee only in the accident plan. So these rates, as Mike had mentioned with the other plans, particularly for vision, these are on a 2-year rate guarantee at minimum. And as we work with you as individual employers, executives, and HR professionals, we'll be negotiating things even beyond that most likely. But everything you see here is on a 2-year rate guarantee basis. So one more concept that I'd like to share on the accident plan that just makes us a great, great selling point. And it's part of the power that the CCUA brings to the table and what Alera had negotiated here is ultimately the accident plan can be viewed as something like a gap plan protection. So what do I mean by that? Well, we know in the world of medical insurance that health deductibles continue to rise. And Mike has mentioned this and alluded to this in the other calls. Not only do those deductibles rise, but premiums have risen, and the out-of-pocket challenges that we all face in the world of healthcare are continuing to go up. So what do we all do while we're trying to meet that healthcare deductible, while we're trying to deal with medical bills that continue to come in? That's a lot of what the accident plan value is. because we pay the employees and the enrolled members a tax-free benefit, that's tax-free money, lump sum direct to the individual to do with it whatever they need, whether that is meet their deductible on health insurance, help with the co-insurance bills, the additional items that continue to show up during such a challenging time. So that's the value of the accident plan. Those are the rates there that you see. Please note that's on a monthly basis. And of course, I believe the payroll frequency bi-weekly for many of you, weekly for some. Those would be delineated appropriately from there. So we'll continue on, as I know time sensitive here, into what I think is one of the more important benefits that we can offer to the CCUA here. And we're fortunate in today's world that the modern medicine has continued to move at such a rate that surviving a significant medical event, the chances of surviving that have gone up significantly. However, the chances of surviving it from a financial perspective because of the costs associated with it have not risen commensurately. And so when you have these types of major medical events that can occur in all of our lives, there are plans in place, and this critical illness benefit is one, to help you survive it financially. When you're in a situation where all you need to do is focus on getting well and continuing on a healthy track, these are something that can help you financially get back on track and continue to move things along for you and your family. So the same benefits from the accident plan that we discussed apply to this critical illness plan that you see before you here. The premiums are on a pre-tax basis. So again, lowering year-end taxable income. And the benefit, should you need to use the plan that we pay out, is paid directly to the member on a tax-free basis. So you'll see the breakdown here, and I'll mention it briefly because these are great, great highlights that Alera team has negotiated. And again, it has to do with the breadth and the size of the CCUA reputation and association here. There's guarantee issue levels with critical illness. And what's a guarantee issue mean? Well, in the world of life insurance, if anyone's done some individual life insurance planning, maybe you've gone through heavy medical reviews, or maybe you've been told that you're uninsurable for whatever reason. Well, when you get into a guarantee issue conversation, there are no health questions whatsoever. And that's a really important feature here. In this first screen that you see from Casey and the team, the benefit for an employee, you can elect in $5,000 increments up to a max of $50,000. And $15,000 of that is guarantee issue. Wow. So you can elect $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, no health questions asked. So that's a really important feature to keep in mind. It essentially, through the great Navigo enrollment system, is a check of the box, and you're enrolled with no health questions asked. So that's a great feature of the critical illness. We'll continue on to the next slide, please, Casey, just to talk very high level about the premiums. All through payroll deduction. Again, these are premium amounts on a monthly basis. The guarantee rate is 2 years again, and very likely beyond as we continue our relationship here together. And you'll see highlighted here, those are that guarantee issue amounts that we talked about. So you can elect anything that you see on the screen here. In the yellow is the guarantee issue, no health questions asked. So a great feature, again, I'll just highlight two quick items and then we'll do one segue as I pass the baton back to Mike and the team. Critical illness, like the accident, includes a wellness benefit. So you get your refund in both arenas, both for accident and both for critical illness. You use that wellness visit once per year, as we all hopefully are doing. Tell principal about it and you get a $50 refund to your critical illness premiums. So if I'm doing some quick math, right here, $10,000, yes sir, $10,000 benefit. If you're 40 to 44, you pay $12 a month for that. Let's call that $144 a year. Again, you're funding half of your premium for critical illness just by going to your wellness visit and telling principal about it. So it's a great refund project that's been negotiated here into the plans, and it's a huge hats off to what you guys represent at the CCUA and the work with Alera. So before I pass the baton, I do want to talk about a concept that's really important, and we're going to introduce it again as it was expressed by Mike early on and in the Navigo video that we all saw on individual disability insurance. And it's a good time to just mention it here quickly before we pass it on, because critical illness is addressing some major health events. And very likely with a critical illness or a significant health event, you can't work, you can't earn a paycheck, and you qualify for disability. Now, with the CCUA, you all are very fortunate that there's some great employer plans out there. Very many of you have short-term disability, long-term disability. Well, long-term disability is an excellent foundation piece, but for many of you that are long-term professionals in the business, maybe you're in an executive position, a management position, your long-term disability may not cover a sufficient enough amount of your income to keep you on a healthy financial track during a very difficult time. And so another conversation that we're going to be having with all of you folks, and we want to continue this concept here, is individual disability through Alera in principle is something that we can take above and beyond the group long-term disability that you have today. And it would also be a guarantee issue product that we're working on together. So there's a lot here that the power of the CCUA has their options open to this package. We're really excited to be a part of it. I thank you all for your time. I think I'm beyond the 10 minutes, Mike, and we'll pass it back to you and Casey. So thank you.
Mike, you're on mute.
I really appreciate everything. Yeah, what really prompted our discussions with Principal too is, and I know I had done a seminar recently for the CCUA. An emerging trend among employees is one of the biggest cause for bankruptcies now are expenses, healthcare expenses. Due to injury or illness and things like that. And the big problem, and something we've always known, if you have a disability benefit and you have somebody that is a moderate to high income earner and it's a 60% benefit to like 5,000, for example, and they go on disability, the reality is it's not enough. And so this is why we're offering the accident benefit, but also just pay attention to that guarantee issue individual disability that is manufactured to go on top of whatever group disability plan that you have to make that employee whole, and not do it in a way where it's cost prohibitive and they can't get access to sufficient supplement disability insurance. So that is something we've negotiated for the CCUA through our partners with Principal. So thanks so much. And before we get into Navigo Health, I think we got Dan back. So I want Dan to talk about that second IMED option. If we can go back a few slides, if we could just take a minute to do that. Dan, are you with me? Dan? If you're,
I can hear you, Mike. Can you hear me?
I can. So, yeah, let's, and this, so
Mike,
this is
can you hear me?
I can.
Mike.
So if you could talk through,
Fantastic.
talk through the second option, that would be great. Okay, I think we lost Dan again.
I don't think he has a good connection, Mike.
No, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry about those difficulties there. So we mentioned the exam-only option, which is it's a really strong option to allow you to provide to allow member credit unions to provide for their employees a really strong benefit at a very low cost. But obviously, some people I can't.
I think we lost him again, guys. All right, so I think what we're going to do is let's go right into Navigo Health. So for everybody that's been so patient on the call, this is what happens in technology, and as you know, so he's got some Wi-Fi issues there. But the bottom line is there is a high option that is really well priced that also comes with a 4-year rate guarantee. And so what we'll do, because we want to end on time, and I want to give Carol enough time to go through this. We're going to send out a quick summary of that first and second option to you directly. Okay, so we can move on. But pay attention to you saw the rates and how good they are. And vision benefit is a very important benefit. So we'll get that over to you separately. So thank you for your patience. So the big thing here now is for this next benefit, this is special. And this is something that we're really excited about. Remember how I had said that there are things in healthcare that are really affecting your employees and their out of pocket, their pocketbooks and their wallets. I want to make the point that the insurance company no longer has the best deal for your people, and they're being asked to pay more. They're covering fewer drugs. So we did something about it, and we're very concerned about telemedicine being so mainstream that it drives your premiums up without giving you enough coverage. These are a few things that we're going to talk about right now and end with. I'm really excited about this benefit, but this is also the technology platform that we're going to rely on. So Carol, it's all yours. You've done this before, so I'll turn it over to you. And thanks everybody for hanging on.
Thanks so much, Mike and Casey. I appreciate everyone's attention and time today from the CCUA. It's a pleasure to speak with all of you. So yeah, as Mike mentioned, what he and his team at Alera Group did was put together some additional pieces off of the Navigo Health platform. I'll just talk for a moment about what Navigo Health is. So we built this platform designed with a multitude of benefits that can be customized. So they, Mike and Casey and their team put together 6 benefits that they felt would be really impactful for CCUA members. Every benefit is meant to help our members save on out-of-pocket pharmacy and medical expenses. The additional thing that I want to mention and make clear is we own and built this. We own all of the technology behind the platform, and what that affords the CCUA members is we are in current development in adding the other pieces that you just heard about from IMED and Choose the Principal onto this platform. Everything's broken out in a tile format, and so we will have a tile for Choose the, a tile for IMED, and a tile for Principal, so that when your members or your employees log into this member portal, this is what you're seeing as the member experience, they will have all of their benefits listed on this Nexgen platform, so that it's very easy to use, all single sign-on. They can access all their benefits in one place. It's a web and mobile-based platform, so we also have a mobile app that does the same thing. So I'll touch quickly, in the essence of time, on the 6 benefits. Our flagship product is our telemedicine product. It is $0 consultation fee, so members pay nothing out of pocket when they have a consultation with a physician. We have over 1,700 physicians across all 50 states. All are board certified, third-party credentialed physicians. So members are not talking to a registered nurse or to a PA, they're talking to a board certified physician. We also include dermatologists on our panel, so dermatology is included in this telemedicine benefit. And dependents are included in all of this coverage as well. So the primary member or employee plus their spouse and dependents. They can request, I'll show you kind of the functionality. Go ahead, Mike.
No, Carol, I just also wanted to make the point that as we were, as we kick this off with the video, when you use the telemedicine platform here, not only does the employee's cost go to 0, and wait till Carol ties it in with the pharmacy benefits, which is extraordinary, but if you're a credit union that has to pay attention to your claims experience, meaning you're over 50, because 50 to 100, they do profile your claims, even though they say they don't. Over 100, they certainly do, and if you're self-funded, even better. All of these benefits I designed with with Carol and her team to make sure that the consumer won, because it was going to be a lower copay. So remember, most of the insurance company copays for telemedicine are between $35 and $75. It eliminates a claim from your claims experience, or let's say you're a smaller credit union and you have a deductible or an HSA that you want to maximize. It eliminates the claim, and ultimately that's going to be the win-win, because from the employer level, you're eliminating a claim. From the consumer level, it doesn't cost them anything, and what telemedicine and the type of providers you can talk to have been expanded. Thanks, Carol. I'll turn it back over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to maybe add to that, the AMA did a study several years ago that up to 70% of office visits could be handled with the telemedicine application. So it is really reducing that claims footprint. We don't report back to the carriers, so that any telemedicine visit that's diverted away from a traditional setting through Nexgen is going to reduce your claims footprint, which ultimately can impact what your members pay. Pharmacy savings. So this is, and I know that Mike will add onto this, as this is one of his real kind of key areas, but pharmacy savings, pharmacy spend is really out of control. This is not just a coupon. So members actually go right through the site. They search for their medication. They will tell them where it is the cheapest. We can do 30 and 60-day mail order, free shipping. There's access to international pharmacy for those specialty drugs. It's Canadian pharmacies primarily. And then we also have loaded the prescription assistance programming onto the site, so we can help members, we can help members that have specialty drugs or high-cost drugs that they can't afford. We help them go through the process. We do all the work on the back end to help them get qualified for any kind of assistance that we can through that prescription assistance program. But what Mike and Casey have also done in their team is built in what we call our free RX program. So the 37 most commonly prescribed medications by telemedicine physicians industry-wide, when they're prescribed by one of our physicians, it's at no cost to the member. And in full transparency, we put the list of meds and the dosages right on the site, so a member knows exactly what is available to them at no cost.
So if you have an HSA, or you're a claims experience rated case, you have over 50 employees, or you just want to give a better benefit for your employee or employees that don't have the insurance, this is going to help them. We have to do something with the escalating cost of prescription drugs. So now, not only does the telemedicine not come with a claim and it's zero, but the most common prescription drugs that are prescribed because of the telemedicine visit now can be picked up at their pharmacy, again, for no cost and eliminating a claim. So this is what I meant about the power of bringing the 200 credit unions together to offer things like this. It has to be a win-win. And the other thing, the dirty little secret, I'm on all the advisory boards for the insurance companies. They have no intention of expanding the list of drugs that they're going to cover. So when Carol talks about specialty drugs, they're going to cover either a less amount of those drugs, fewer drugs, a percentage or a smaller percentage of those drugs, or higher copays, or not cover them all together. So here, we're not just offering a coupon program. That is part of it, but that's not what's going to make a dent. This substantial pharmacy savings that Carol's talking to does the job. Sorry, Carol, and I'll let you go.
Yep. No, of course. And then I'll touch quickly on the balance, just I know we're limited on time. Behavioral health. So typically the hurdles with behavioral health is access to care and cost of care. What we've done is we've built a program where the first 2 sessions are at no cost. All the sessions are about an hour long. They're 50 minutes. We've got a provider network of about 4,000 providers. It's a range of psychiatrists, licensed therapists, and counselors. Dependents also have those first 2 free sessions. After those first 2 sessions are exhausted, then session fees apply, but that's at a much reduced rate for the CCUA because of that power of pulling together those 200 credit unions together as kind of a conglomerate and buying power. So for therapy and counseling, it's $85, and for psychiatry, it's $145. Psychiatry specifically, that's about half what a street rate is to a standard psychiatrist's office.
We had to do this. What happened in COVID, mental health claims have gone through the roof for all age groups. Here's the dirty little secret with health insurance. Only 50% of the available mental health providers in a given state, and that includes the states that the CCUA is active in, take insurance. So we had to because of the escalation of claims, we had to broaden access for members to get the behavioral health they need. That's why we did what we did. And telemedicine for a lot of those services is a complement to what you're already offering. And Carol, could we go to the medical assistance program too?
Yep.
And before we do this, and we're going to wrap this up in just a minute, guys, so if you can hang on, this is a powerful benefit, and it's something we're really proud to offer. Here's the thing, as much as pharmacies going up, deductibles are going up, one of the biggest reasons for bankruptcy now is unpaid medical bills. And if the employee, if you have a teller making $17 an hour and they have a big deductible that is due, oftentimes they can't pay it. And if you look at the statistics, the percent of unpaid deductible dollars to providers has tripled in the last 10 years. So this is why we needed to give your folks some help relative to the affordability question. So Carol, why don't you finish up with this, just briefly mention the other two so we can get folks on their way. And then we're going to follow up with you on all of these things, all of the participants. So if you can hang on for 2 more minutes, it's worth it.
Yep. So quickly, then bill negotiation. We've made it easy for you to submit the bill to us. You can upload it right through the member portal, or you can fax it to us or mail it to us in snail mail. But the real differentiator for us is our minimum is $750. Other companies out there that do this bill negotiation, their minimums are closer to $2,000 or $2,500. So our minimum requirement is much, much lower. So $750 per event. We have medical coding specialists. We review the bill. We will revise the bill if it wasn't billed correctly. And when we do direct negotiation with the provider in the facility to negotiate a rate, oftentimes we're getting 50% off. And it doesn't matter if it's in network or out of network. Because what we're finding is providers are becoming more and more bill collectors, and that's not the role they want to play. So based on a quick pay, funding within 72 hours. So to that end, we also have creditor vendor partners that will help our members pair with to get accommodating terms. The last 2 pieces are our health risk assessment. That's a partnership with the Cleveland Clinic. Obviously, everyone knows the reputation of the Cleveland Clinic. So members have access to their My Legacy Health Risk Assessment, which will give them a health risk score as well as identify some potential diseases or conditions that they may be at risk for, and a path to attack some of those from a wellness perspective or lifestyle changes or medical care. And then the last piece, Healthcare Liaison, it's built into all of our tools. This is our concierge level white glove service for our members. Every member has a healthcare liaison that will walk them through each benefit, help them understand what it is, how to use it, and then assist them in using it. That's really the point of Nexgen, is that we want our members using these benefits because they are so impactful. Mike, I'll close with that. Again, thank you so much for your time.
Guys, I really appreciate everybody sitting through this and being patient with the technology issues here that we experience. But I think what you can do is you can get a flavor for everything that we're doing for the credit union, for the benefit of the credit unions and their members. And if this is done right, you can increase the value of your benefits by, you can double the value of your benefits. And the reality is we're going to keep working hard to bring you new and additional services under Nexgen, including working on putting together potentially a medical plan for everybody too. That's a longer term project. But I think the best way we're going to follow up with you on that vision plan. We apologize for that. But this email right here, this nexgen@aleragroup.com, guys, use that email. That's going to go directly to me. If you have a benefit that you want us to look into that maybe we could negotiate on your behalf using the power of the CCUA membership in Alera, but also specific to our conversation here today, let's set up a time and I'll show you how these benefits can supplement and fit in your specific organization, what it would cost and what the return on your investment is going to be. I think that is probably the next best thing that we can do. You saw the rates. By the way, we can also talk through, downloading of the Choosy app and how to use it and how to make sure the employees and their family members can get to know that benefit as well as all the other benefits. But the bottom line is the best thing to do is send me an email. We'll talk it through specific to your organization and get you going on the benefits that you think could be of great value to you and your employees. So with that said, I want to let everybody, we're beyond the hour. And again, thank you very much. But Nexgen is here. We're going to offer more of these things. Send the email out to me. We'll schedule a time that's good for you. And let's go through the specific to your organization that I can show you how these can, for lack of a better term, improve the benefits that you already have, as you can say that's what it's designed for, and give your employees some out-of-pocket expense breaks here by tapping into the right benefits. So I want to say thank you for everybody. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Casey for helping, all our partners, and also Dean, thanks so much for your help as always. And we'll get the recording out to everybody, but we are going to follow up. A better description of the vision is coming, and I look forward to talking with you specifically about these benefits for your organization. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mike, and I want to thank everyone for hanging on. I apologize again for the technical difficulties that Dan had. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to reach out to myself, Melissa Pomeroy, or directly to Mike or anyone on his team. That's going to conclude today's session. Thanks for joining, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you.